fucking die?
Yeah, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. Bitch, you can't kill me. And then I do that.
So the whole plan was to get dressed, to get like bomb styled, to put my background up and vlog about my 2021, celebrate into my 2022. Last minute, on the day of New Year's Eve, I have a friend hit me up and she's like, "What are you doing?" For New Year's, I was like, nothing much. Like, I have a cute outfit, but I had no plans. Like, everybody's staying in because of the COVID thing. And she's like, "Oh, come to my house." So then I'm like, okay, that could be nice. Like, it's not just a friend, it's a friend that I've been working with for like quite some years. And we still like I'm on her braid team. We still work together from time to time. So it wasn't like, okay, a nobody. It was literally like a friend that I work with. So to bring in a New Year's with New Year resolutions with like hustler workers, like that was cool for me. So I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. What time? And she's like, anytime. So in my head, I'm like, all right, just get to her crib before 12. Like if I get there before 12, it's fine. We can celebrate. So I'm thinking, she lives downtown. She has a beautiful home. It'll probably be like a small little get together. We could watch on the rooftop. We could go to the rooftop and watch fireworks and it'll be a-okay. So I tell my friend and I'm like, yeah, I want to get a bottle of champagne. He's like, oh, I have a bottle of Patron. You could just take that. It's like brand new. So I'm like, oh, cool. Like this is going to be lit. I have to spend no bread. I get home, I start getting ready, I start getting dressed. I'm getting my outfit together. It's not all the way together, but I'm getting together. Like I have it all blueprinted, planned out in my head. Then my friend calls me and she's like, yeah, what are you doing for the new year? And I'm like, I'm coming to your house. Like I'm literally getting ready to come to your house. And she's like, oh, what should we do? Have people over? I was like, I thought you were having something. Like, I thought you were having like an event at your house. And she's like, no, but I was invited to this Tory Lanez party. Like, we could go to that. And I was like, girl, I do not have a vaccination card. I did not get vaccinated. And she's like, oh no, I'm gonna be with some bosses. Like, it really don't matter. So I'm like, and she has this reputation. So it was never like in my mind that she would not be with bosses. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So at this point, it's like 7:30 into 8 o'clock. So let's just say 7:45. So I'm just like, dang, I don't really have that much time. And now if we're going out, I need to be to your house early so that I'm not trying to get all the way down to your house when the ball's about to drop and then we're trying to get to this place. So I'm like, okay, I'll just pack, I'm not done getting myself together, but I'll just pack and then make it to your house and then I could get finished getting styled at your house. So I start getting ready, like trying to finish up. And of course, in that rush moment, every single thing that could go wrong goes wrong. Like my sewing machine, the needle broke while I was hemming my pants. I was just so much stuff going on to the point that it became chaotic. Like anything that I straightened up became like a mess. Like it was just like literally a mess. And I'm like, okay, I had just got about ready. And in my head, I'm like, all right, I just got to pack the rest of my stuff that I'm going to finish getting ready at her house and then call my Uber because the Uber be taking like 20 minutes. It's going to be insane. So I call my Uber and it's like, it'll be there in 6 minutes. And I'm like, 6 minutes? Okay, let me just pack, like finish getting ready, pack what I have to pack. I swear like 2 minutes go by and the Uber is calling me like, yeah, I'm downstairs. I'm like, downstairs? So now I'm literally throwing stuff, like just kind of making sure that I have everything I need to complete my look when I'm at her house. So I get to her house, and like that went smoothly. Like the Uber ride to her house went smoothly. Like all that went smoothly. I get there, she comes downstairs. Or no, she didn't have to come downstairs. I buzzed into her apartment. I go to her apartment. It's like a normal day in her apartment. Like literally, her friend is like napping on the couch. She has she's in her room. She comes out. She has like a robe on. Her hair is done. It's just shampooed though, and then her leave out is like wet. It's not even blown dry. It's like wet and curly on top of her weave. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm just getting dressed now." Like nowhere near dressed. It's like at this point like 9:30. She's nowhere near dressed. She's like, "I'm just getting dressed now. You can help me figure out what I'm gonna wear." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, no problem. I just got to do my makeup and like finish getting myself together." And you're nowhere near together. So I guess I just rushed over here for no reason. So then I go in my bag, and of course, the bottle of tequila that I bought, I left. I rushed so much that I left the damn bottle of tequila. So I'm just like, fuck. Heavy breath. So I go to her, and before I go to her, I go to the kitchen just to see, like, did she have any bottles? Did she get anything? Nothing. Like, it did not look like nowhere where anyone was inviting people to a New Year's party. It looked like her regular apartment, and not even on a good day. Because on a good day, her apartment is glammed and perfect and just like beautiful. It just looked like, oh, I was just hanging around all day. Oh, you coming over? Okay, come over. Like that type vibe. And I'm just like, okay. So, anywho, I decide, I'm like, "Girl, I left the bottle. Like, is that liquor store down the street open?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's open. What are you going to get?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. I'm just thinking like a bottle of champagne." And she's like, "Yeah, get Stella." I don't know what that is. She's like, "Get Stella." So I go to the store. I find like Stella, it had like a wine and it had a champagne. So I got a wine, a champagne, some backwoods. $50. We're calculating this as we go. I go upstairs. I go back because the liquor store is like one street from her house. So I go back upstairs to her house. I bring the Stella. She looks at the bottle like, I'm like, "Dang, did I get the wrong one?" Like, I don't know. Like, I literally have no idea. So, anywho, she's having issues with her outfits. She ended up going with the first one she went with. I'm getting ready. Like, we have our liquor. She passes me the blunt. I feel like this is where it starts to go left, and that's why. Anywho, she passed me a blunt, and the blunt, it was like an immediate hit. Like, I have not been smoking, y'all. So when I like hit it, it was like immediate hit, but like a vibe hit, and I just was like, whoo. I still gotta finish my makeup, but thank you. Most of my makeup was done at this point, so I was just like, okay, I just gotta finish my makeup. It was like my lip. So I'm getting ready, and I'm like, my look is coming together. Like, I'm feeling cute, I'm feeling fly. I'm like, yes, she's coming out showing me her look. Like, she looks cute, she looks fly. Like, you know, when you go out with your friends, like, you kind of want to coordinate in a way. Like, yes, like, we both bold. Like, we look like bomb ass hairstylists. Like, it was lit. Like, Babs, literally, like, that's our brand. Like, Babs, like, just bad ass, princess ass, hairstylist bitches up in LA. Like, what? Period. Like, excuse me. Then it's time to leave. So she calls the car. She's like, "Oh my God, the car is out here." At this point, I like had just pulled my outfit together. It was looking good. I grabbed the champagne because we had drank through the wine already. So I had grabbed some champagne. She was like, "The car is here." So I run out with my champagne in my hand. We get in the car, and she's like, "You bought my cup?" And I was like, "Girl, I'll get you another one." They're like these little, just like a wine glass, but they have like iridescent coloring over top of it. She was like, "Those are my special cups. Like, you won't be able to find those anywhere." And I'm like, "I'll hold on to your glass all night." And I didn't know how this was going to go. Like, "I'll hold on to your glass all night." Sure. Like, I just was saying that, like, to make the night feel like not bad, but I didn't know if I was going to hang onto that glass all night. But I definitely made initiative. So we get to the club and back up, like while we were at the apartment, she kept coming to me and she's like, "This is the party we're going to. This is the party we're going to." And I had seen the flyers all week. Like if you're a person that scrolls Instagram right before like New Year's or just about any event and your sponsored ads or whatever, they'll show you like all the event invitations like near you in a neighborhood near you. So I had seen that flyer all week, but it was just like, okay, like that's where we're going. But the question like in the back of my head is like we're in LA, like, and she do be around hella bosses, like don't get me wrong, she be around all the bosses, but it was just like, are we gonna get in though? Like in the back of my head that kept being my thing, like, okay, we're gonna be with bosses, but are we gonna get in though? We get there and I just walk straight to the line, like I'm a humble girl, like I just walk straight to the line. And she's like, hold on, Liz, like, and she's on the phone with her friend. She's like, we're outside, and she turns the camera to like show me, which is a thing that people do. Like when you with like your pretty friends, you just kind of like show your friends, like I'm with like it's a pretty girl event, like come get us at the door. So we walk to the front while she's on FaceTime, and she's like, yeah, I'm here for such and such, and they're like, but do you got tickets? Like everybody at the front is like, but do you have tickets though? Like, where's your ticket? You got your ticket? Like, where's your ticket? So this was a ticketed event. So she's like, we'll just pay $100 to get in. And then she looks at me and she's like, we'll just pay $100 to get in, right, Liz? And I'm like, as she's pulling her $100 out her pocketbook, I'm like, bitch, we were supposed to be with bosses. Where is the we'll get in? Like, where are the bosses at? So I pull out my card and they're like, cash only. So I'm just like, I'll cash app you. Like, so then she gives like, she's like, yeah, we'll just pay the 100. She pulls out another 100. So now we're in the club, or now we're like admitted into the club. We get into the club and I cannot explain this more than like, it didn't even feel like a high school. Yeah, I guess I could say like a high school dance. It felt like we just got to a high school dance, like prom. It felt like prom, bro. From the getting ready, like everything about this night felt like prom. And exactly my thoughts of what prom is. And just, it seems to be way more than it actually is. So we walk in and you just see like kind of like people all around us. She spots her bossy friend from across the room. She's like, that's my friend. And it's right as like the ball is semi dropping. So they're like 17, 16, like they had started from like 20. And as they're like counting down, she's like maneuvering through the crowd, like, I gotta get to my boss friend. And I'm like trying to keep up with her, like, okay, let's get to your boss friend. But I look and everyone has like their phones up, like they all have like their phones up and they're looking to the ceiling. I'm like, oh, something spectacular is about to happen at when the ball hits 12, and this is so exciting. Let me take my phone out so I could get the content too. I take my phone out as like 0. And it's like the balloons fall from the sky, but they're in these nets. And you could tell like the nets were supposed to pop so that there'd be balloons all over people, but none of the nets popped. So oh my god, none of the nets popped. So, oh my god. By the way, this is the day after. I'm still in the same outfit. I fell asleep with my makeup on, like. Hold on, I'm gonna come back. stay tuned for part 2 of this story time.
I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. Bitch, you can't kill me. And then I do that.